It's Tri-City Sports Now. You got me, Marky Billson here. Let's hear some grab bag news right now. You ought to know that in college basketball, former West Virginia guard Trey Dooms is going to be a Chattanooga Moc. I don't call him a Moc. It's not the biggest thing in the world. He's got 3 seasons of eligibility remaining, and he only averaged 2 points a game for the Mountaineers and Bob Huggins this past season. But Lamont Paris, Chattanooga's as down as they ever have been since going D1. So, luring a player from the Big 12, from a respected program like West Virginia, okay, even if he's not really scoring that much, that's some Southern Conference news, what kind of an impact he can have. Well, he got 3 years to make an impact, okay? Mocs still haven't done anything since 3 years ago when all 5 of their players not only choked at the end of the season, but all left the program. There was 5 seniors on the team, and they and their coach all left. That's rebuilding. By the way, Kelly Harper, whose interview you can listen to on archive on our 1420 WEMB Sports Radio Facebook page. Just like us on Facebook. And you'll find it on the archives. I got to slug it, I will admit that. But anyway, we will be talking, or you can listen to my interview, and she says, no, I don't think that the Lady Vols are rebuilding, even without Avina Westbrook. St. Louis Cardinals, they're in the middle of the pack in the NL Central, but it really does seem to be the Brewers and the Cubs division, despite the Cubs' late loss to the Braves last night. I say that, and do keep this in mind as well, that the Reds, who have been advancing up the standings here, and recently in 4th place in the National League Central, or they're in 4th place, tied actually with the Pirates, 6 games out, but the Reds, last I looked, one of the top pitching staffs, one of the lowest ERAs in all of the major leagues. I do think the Reds might actually be a factor second half of the year because of that. St. Louis, though, is really dealt a bad break because their closer, Jordan Hicks, is going to go under Tommy John surgery today if he hasn't already. He's only 22. 2-2 this year, a 3.14 ERA in 29 games, 14 saves, 15 opportunities. And the Cardinals, 2.5 out at the start of play. And let's see here, in terms of a wild card berth, they're on the outside looking in, but not by much. They are, let me see here, only, I know this is riveting radio, they're actually tied in a loss column with the Rockies for the last, that's our half game out, for the last wild card spot in the NL. Cardinals. All right. So there you have it. But it doesn't help them that they're going to lose their closer. It's not going to help I think one of the whipping boys of the NFL next year could be the Cincinnati Bengals. I really think, I will tell you I'm not big on the Ravens. I don't like Lamar Jackson, okay? 3 passing yards for 3 quarters in a playoff game doesn't impress me. I think that, running quarterbacks when their legs go or when, they say, okay, here, we'll take that away. Now throw! Maybe not. Look at Colin Kaepernick. That being said, they just lost their first-round pick, and that's a tackle. One of the reasons I say don't draft tackles high. You can always find another tackle. Well, now the Bengals are going to put that into place, that theory into place, because Jonah Williams is expected to miss the season after surgery for a torn labrum in his left shoulder. And this is Tim Hasselbeck. Now, yes, I do say that you can always find another tackle, but Tim Hasselbeck says that's easier said than done.
Point of the year, the replacements to be a starting, right tackle in the NFL, it's not like there's a bunch of those guys just hanging out on the street. So, look, we're talking about Dalton and Ryan Finley and whatever else happens there in Cincinnati at the quarterback position. It kind of starts like with stuff like this in terms of if that move happens because, you maybe aren't playing as well as you thought that you would because of injuries.
So, yeah, I do now. Yeah, it's easier said than done to find another tackle. I have seen the loss of a tackle simply destroy a team, don't get me wrong. It doesn't help the Bengals. I don't really poo-poo this. I do think it's overcomable, but yeah, you lose your first-round pick. This is I say, risk-reward. I mean, there have been some tremendous offensive linemen, Hall of Famers taken high. But Rams took Orlando Pace, first-round pick, mid-90s. Nobody questioned that. He would pancake block every down, it seemed, out of Ohio State. They didn't win, though, until they got Kurt Warner. Just, yeah, it's an important position. It protects quarterback's blind side. We know what it is. But it ain't the quarterback. You can find another tackle. Quarterback, not so much. The Tri-Cities Otters are now 4-2-3, but they just lost a chance to go into first place last night because they went on the road and lost to the Carolina Dynamo 2-1 at the Bryan Park Soccer Complex, which is kind of intriguing to me that they would do that at the the Dynamo, would have a soccer complex. 3 points for a victory in the for the Otters there in USL League 2. So, the Dynamo now with 17 points, and that moves them ahead of the Otters with 15 points. However, the Otters still have a game in hand. Kind of congested standings. Dynamo, 10 games into the year, have 17 points. Tobacco Road is in last place right now, but they still have 10 in the USL League 2's South Atlantic Division. So, the Tri-Cities Otters will next play North Carolina it's North Carolina U23, and that will be on Friday. And North Carolina U23 is tied with the Otters with 15 points in third place, two back of Carolina Dynamo, who defeated the Otters 2-1. Dynamo play in Greensboro. Here's the thing, though. I don't know. They do the tweets out for the Otters, and I just am so done with this kind of sports reporting around here. Here's how they tweet out the final score. Otters fall 2-1 in a bad place some call Greensboro. I get, then again, that ETSU UNCG, I mentioned that Chattanooga's getting a player from West Virginia. I'm thinking that ETSU UNCG, certainly in basketball, maybe not football, but certainly in basketball, I mean, who gives a rat's behind about the rail trophy when in who gives a rat's behind about the rail trophy, really? You want to talk about just some sort of, propaganda trophy out there. It ain't the old oaken bucket. Let me just put it that way. You take the ETSU Buccaneers against UNCG these last 2 years, I think you're going to find on the hardwood that is ETSU's biggest rival in any sport. Football ETSU is we actually won a third of the Southern Conference title, which actually might be that the Southern Conference is now so down that ETSU had a share of the title. Still didn't win it outright, but they had a share of the title. That's the old joke right there, but still, you look at and what can I tell you right there? But the Otters, like I said, tweeting that out, that sort of stuff is commonplace, but it also shows you just the rivalry. You used to think Kingsport, Johnson City. Well, the Tri-Cities Otters, they're trying to bring them all together. That's why I want a double-A team, right? Okay. Let's leave Kingsport, Johnson City for the high schools, All right. So, here we go now with what is the arch-rival town. This might actually be a theory. I could actually do a monologue. Is Greensboro now the arch-rival town of the Tri-Cities or Marky? Because you used to think it was Chattanooga when they would play for the SoCon title every year, but now, not so much. Of course, Wofford then goes out and wins it last year, and that destroys the... But, idea. Well, if ETSU could have gotten past Wofford, or if they could have won one more game against UNCG, the seeding would have been different, and that sort of thing. UNCG is the only team that I saw do a throat slash gesture at Freedom Hall last year. There you go. Okay, I'm Marky Billson here. I don't think we'll get to... I got to do the media watch here before too long, but I'm not going to have enough time to do it right now. We'll talk about the women's soccer team, and I know that a lot of, since we are talking soccer, the USWNT, and Megan Rapinoe, who of course had the winning kick in the victory against Spain, and now USWNT will be playing on Friday against France. But here's the deal. She has now said that she will not go to the White House if invited. At which point, Donald Trump rattled off 3 straight tweets this morning saying he's disappointed, and in it, he criticized the NBA's decision to ban the term owner. Al Sharpton likes that, by the way. I just throwing it, so there you go. There's the political divide right now over what were the, can a word have more than one meaning, okay? What are they supposed to call them? Well, they're governor. They're not governors. Nobody has elected these owners. They're owners. I did see on Facebook where someone said, why don't they just use the term masters now? Well, no. Megan Rapinoe has said she's not going to go to the White House. Okay, says Donald Trump. I'm inviting you anyway. I'm a fan of women's soccer, and I'm disappointed. He even says, the NBA is saying they're not coming. Okay, but I'm inviting you anyway. Let's see who does come, Megan. This is why people either love or hate Donald Trump, and this is why people either love or hate the USWNT. Yeah. There's no milk toast here between those two. Not at all. It's hard right now on today's date to find 2 more polarizing figures, one in sports than Megan Rapinoe, and in politics than the President, Donald Trump. Let's just say that. So, there you go. I'm going to have to push off Media Watch until tomorrow as it comes out. And I've got a question on, of course, Jeff Francoeur on Monday said that he might actually take physical violence. He wished he could have physical violence against Wilson Contreras 3 years ago. Contreras told him to be a professional. But I've got all kinds of... I've got actually a reason why I think baseball is losing popularity, and it is that it used to be baseball and the baseball writer, there was a bit of a kinship there. Certainly the play-by-play. I mean, there was a feeling of togetherness. Not so much anymore, where we're now having broadcasters saying they wish that they were taking physical violence. And in fact, that almost happened with the New York Mets. How much longer can Mickey Callaway continue to manage the New York Mets? That's the question there. Hey, everybody, in my final minute, I want to remind everyone out there to go to Asian House today, or at least before Sunday. They're on West Market Street. The shops on West Market. Mention my name there. They'll give you 10% off. You can still get their lunch menu, and the most expensive lunch on the menu there is $6.29. So there you go. That's their shrimp deals, for instance. Flip side, also like us on Facebook. You'll be able to watch the Kelly Harper interview that we did to start the show. That's on archive. And we just ask you to like us on 1420 WEMB Sports Radio. And look at the top. You'll find out how to win 4 Dollywood tickets. See you tomorrow.
1420 WEMB Sports Radio.